Well, I was lucky enough to have met Chris a few times over the years, sort of in passing or just casually or randomly. The first time that I remember was probably mid-late 90s in Seattle. He was performing at a place called the Tractor Tavern, and I saw him go into the bar next door, Hattie's Hat, and I gathered up the nerve to follow him in. And he just sat down at the bar and was ordering a drink. And I went up to him and I said I was there to see the show later, and I was a big fan. And I nervously tried to keep the conversation going by talking about poetry, which I knew he was into. Charles Simic and some others, Rilke. And I had mentioned Stanley Kunitz to him, and a poet that he didn't know, but I thought he might like. And he thought that was pretty cool. At least I think he did. And then I had brought a small oil painting based on some lyrics of his. New Brutal Architecture was the name of the painting, and then I gave him a small painting there as well. And so later that night at the show, he played a song, New Machine, my favorite Whitley song, and he dedicated it to me, and I thought that was pretty cool and very exciting. And then the next time I saw him was again in Ballard in Seattle. He was different tour. I think maybe it was a Terra Incognita tour. I guess this was before. I get it confused, but he was peeking his head inside a window of a guitar shop, and I happened to notice who he was. And I said, "Hey, I'm going to see your show tonight." And he said, "Cool." And we chatted a little bit about guitars and the neighborhood and whatnot. And that was that. And I went and saw the show, and it was great. The final time I saw him was actually in New York City. I moved to the East Coast from Seattle, and I was walking through the Village with my girlfriend, now wife, Heather, and our good friends Jim and Leslie. We were walking in the West Village on 7th and Bleecker, and I think it was wintertime. I remember it being cold, and maybe there was a little snow on the ground, and Rocket House had just come out, and I was actually talking to Jim as we were walking down 7th Avenue, talking to Jim about that very album. And I was saying, yeah, it's great. You got to check it out. It's got some electronic stuff and guitar. And I kid you not, as I'm talking, I look up, and Jim and I are talking, and I look up, and there's Chris standing, walking the other direction right past us. And with that, I just, right out of my mouth, I said, "Hey, Chris, great new album," because it was just sort of top of mind. We were just talking about it. It was so surreal. And my friend Jim is looking at me like, wait, what? Wait, who's that? Wait, aren't we just talking about him? And then Heather and Leslie behind us were like, wait, what just happened? And he's like, "Oh, thanks. Appreciate that." And then he just kind of gave a smile and kept walking to past us. And the whole thing was so strange. We were literally just talking about him and the album, and he walked by us. And then I realized, or had learned later, that he lived right around the corner on either Barrow or Morton. I forget. It's been so many years. And when I learned that after he had passed away in 2005, I remember feeling like I had to do something, but not knowing what. So I went to the building, 55. It was either 55 Barrow or Morton, and I set up a little mini disc recorder and a single mic, and I recorded a couple of songs outside his apartment window, which I think was a couple floors up, and just recorded a couple songs. Just I don't know why, just seemed like the thing to do, and I don't think they turned out very well, as I remember, and I have no idea where they are. But I just felt like something needed to be recorded about that time and place, documented, and I feel still today that some sort of sculpture or historic plaque needs to be placed on that building, or some sort of statue or monument to Chris there. I feel like he was that important to music, and maybe someday that'll happen. So those are the times that I met him, and I'm very grateful for that. So Here's to dirt floor 20 years later. Cheers.